Thank you, Christina and Robbie. So, some of my favorite presentations from DevOps Enterprise Summit has come from UK HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue Collection Department. In 2016, Anthony Collard and Lindsay Brewer talked about how they modernized one of the largest IT estates in the UK, modernizing the tax filing system so that a single parent could finish their filing on their phone while on the bus ride home from work. Last year, Ben Conrad and Matt Hyatt presented on how HMRC were able to distribute hundreds of billions of pounds to UK citizens and businesses, an unprecedented financial support package that would eventually see around 25% of the entire UK workforce being supported by public money. And they heroically built the technology to do so in 4 weeks under conditions of incredible pressure and uncertainty. They joked that they went from the most despised government agency to the most beloved, as citizens were able to get the monies they needed when most of the economy was starting to shut down. But they had also mentioned something about a parallel effort to theirs that were working to prevent fraud from happening in this process, because they knew from the beginning that these COVID economic interventions would be obvious targets for fraud and that customers could make mistakes. And so this is that story from Andy Letherby, service owner of the Customer Insight Platform from HMRC, and Caitlin Smith, delivery lead from Equal Expert. They describe how they were able to use data that they had and capabilities they had built to detect and even prevent certain types of fraud long before any payments were made to ensure that economic aid went to those who were entitled to it. They were able to do this by working closely with their leadership teams and their government ministers. And instead of policy being created and modified in a way that took years, they worked hand in hand, making policy changes in minutes, enabling true decentralized execution. They will share the story of how they did this, and how this will likely change how technology works with policymakers for years to come. Here's Andrew and Caitlin.
Hi, my name is Andy Letherby. I'm the service owner for the Customer Insight Platform in HMRC, and today we're going to, myself and Kate Smith, if you'd like to say hello, Kate.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Smith. I'm an Agile delivery consultant with Equal Experts. I've been working with Andy for the last couple of years, working on the Customer Insight Platform.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. And today what we're going to be talking to you about is some of the developments we've been doing around dynamic decision making in HMRC, what the pandemic taught us, and some of the experience we had in the pandemic around how we innovated our platform and our products to really help out in delivery of those services. So, who are HMRC and who is the Customer Insight Platform? So HMRC are UK's tax and revenue service. So we collect things like income tax, so self-assessment, VAT and corporation tax for customers. But actually HMRC is much bigger than that. We are a very large government organisation in the UK. We handle significant public services. So alongside tax, we also manage the customs declaration service, handling import and export of goods into the UK. We manage the government banking service, which delivers financial services to government organisations, helping to simplify payments and repayments across government. And Customer Insight Platform, my area, we sit alongside all of those different products and services in HMRC, looking at how customers, taxpayers, traders, companies interact with HMRC's digital services, the information they give us, the devices they use, how they interact, when, what information they share with us, and we gather all of that data together. And we use that data in a range of different decision making across the organisation. So, our old approach, what do we do? So, HMRC is a fairly traditional organisation. We've been around for a while. And our analysts in the organisation tended to work like lots of analysts do. They like to gather data together, collate it, match it, make some decisions and model it, and then do whatever their specific role or task was. This is a really manual process. It's grown up over many years, and they like to maintain that process because it gave them control and confidence in what they were doing. But it had some issues with it. And the biggest issue is that's not scalable. It's not sustainable, particularly when you move the volume of transactions dial up. So as business gets busier and you've got the same amount of analysts available, it becomes really challenging for them to process all of that information manually for the volume of work that's coming through the door. From a customer insight platform perspective, we saw ourselves really as fulfilling one of those roles, collecting data in persistent event streams, storing that data in large data storage. We were quite distant from people making policy decisions and making decisions about services. And we tended to be a bit of a thorn in people's sides because we say, you've got to make sure you log information. You've got to provide us data so that we've got that available for different use cases. And what we didn't do was share our views on that data. Our structure was really quite rigid. It was established around fairly traditional models